Hello, my name is Duncan Alderdice. No, I fucked it up. Wait, hold on. Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about the small improvements I have made to my life today, as well as the 2 closes I had at my sales job. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I'm making these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am by making small improvements to my life every single day. I might want to cut that that part, but so one of the first part I'm going to focus on the small improvements that's going on, and then the second part that I'm going to talk about is my day at work and the 2 sales calls that, spoiler alert, ended up in closing. So first thing that I did is, before this video, I actually set a timer and had a blank piece of paper and like did a bit of prep work for this video, just kind of going like, okay, what's the hook gonna be? Like, what am I gonna actually talk about? Nothing too particularly crazy, but rather than just having the piece of paper that has these small improvements that I made throughout the day and just winging it, just kind of getting a better structure for it. Potentially could have made it 5 minutes, but 2 minutes seems to have been better. I don't know if it really helped, but it certainly didn't hurt. So that's the first small improvement that I did. The second thing that I've written down is just, if you could have what you wanted, what would that be? And I guess that's just a question that I know I heard Jordan Peterson say it, but that is a thing that you need to figure out in order to have direction. I forget why I initially put that there. I think I've just said it right now because it was on the piece of paper. My glasses are really dirty. I can change that after. And then the other thing that improved about my life is so specifically today, there was a YouTube mastermind Q&A, well, just like a group call, and on that call, a bunch of things that were spoken about. But the one thing that I took away was, in order to find your niche, the way you find it is by being wrong 4 or 5 times until you get there. So picking one and then moving from that. So like, I have switched to kind of doing the small improvements kind of aspect of it. But one thing that I've noticed is, and by notice I mean in checking the channel analytics, 2 things, because I'm going to talk about niche and avatar. Niche and avatar is, in the last 30 days, the top content, all of the, hold on, where is it? Overview. All of the videos that did well, whether that terms of views, though it's more viewer retention, like somewhere between 30 or like 20, but like 30% viewer retention. That's actually pretty fucking good. Thinking about like what I'm actually making right now, had something to do with sales. And then so it's just interesting going, like, seeing the feedback there of going like, okay, maybe I should lean into more of that sales kind of aspect of it, and not make the entire channel about it, but combine that personal development with that sales, which actually is an idea that I wrote in my phone a while ago. So that's cool that is kind of coming to fruition, or at least becoming a real thing. Or at least I'm getting feedback from the environment saying so. So that was like having the conversation that maybe that's the particular niche I could target. But then to get even more specific with the targeting, what is the avatar of that? And then again, looking at the audience of the people who are watching these videos over the last 28 days, 80% of them are male, about 20% of them are female. If you go the last 90 days, that's like a 25-75 split. So, I mean, like, there's a fair degree of mix. I don't actually know what it is, but the key takeaway is the fact that 100% of the people who are watching are between the ages of 25 and 34. Sometimes if you broaden the time horizon just a little bit, you sometimes get people below that 18 to 24 threshold, but just more going like, okay, so I'm clearly not resonating with people in their 40s at this point. Like, so that's not what it is. So then in terms of the niche, that like the broader kind of idea is like something combining personal development as well as sales to make that a bit more specific. And then you could go male. I don't think I want to gender it particularly quite yet until there's more information that says that should be done. But then within that, there's a particular age demographic. And then so figuring out what it is that is appealing for that group. That wasn't a sentence. But so that is just things that I'm working through, and more on that will come later. But more importantly, it is something that I think I could be doing long term. And the two kind of mix, because so sales is an important component. If you actually want to be a high performer, you need to kind of fix things that are going on inside of your life, and then that will be reflected in your professional life. But then beyond that, what it could be, the other thing in the call was that was what Carl said. Is he said you should try to make content for your younger self. That's what you're going to be able to speak to most effectively. And then so I'm going, okay, my younger self, what does that person want? It's like you're growing into sales, you want to develop as a person so that you can start a business. And the three things kind of work together. So if there's something that I can help someone develop personally, become better at selling, so they get enough money to then also want to start their own entrepreneurial venture. Again, got to think of this long term. Like, I'm not going to be a millionaire tomorrow and don't need to try to be. Like, in 10 years, if I kept building this thing, what would the result of that be? And I definitely would have a lot more authority and experience, or a lot more authority in 10 years than I would right now. But I think that's actually the tie of, if you could have what you wanted, what would that be? Like, if I really wanted, like, I kind of want to speak on stage, like hosting an event where you give like a powerful speech and like gets the fucking people going, they fired up and everything, and it changes people's life, or like reignites the spark within them to go and be like, yeah, that fires me up. So it's like just finding something that I would actually be proud of creating and would find meaningful committing myself to doing. Yeah. No, I think the significance of that question of if you could have what you wanted, what would that be, is sometimes you'll feel embarrassed or say that you don't deserve. I don't know if it's don't deserve. Whatever the thing that comes to mind, you're like, okay, no, there's something incorrect about that. I need to aim lower. I'm not allowed to have that. And it's like, no, what? Like, be fucking selfish. What do you want? Ooh, that would be a good video idea. Okay, but I'm getting distracted. But so then those are the small improvements that I've made in my life. Kind of. I guess you could call them small improvements. So now on to the sales. So the job I have, I work from the top. The job I have, I work as an account executive for a remote company called Planswell, and we sell highly qualified leads, a lead system to financial advisors. In short, today I had 2 one-call closes. Now, one of them came from a churn and return, essentially meaning someone who had bought before and stopped using it and has come back. And then the other one was like an inbound from the website who had never bought before. It was interesting because on the initial, the one that was someone who had bought before, they weren't super excited about it. Like, they were actually booked by, like, there's like an appointment setter that booked the appointment. And what I spent most of the first call trying to figure out is, like, why are we on this call here? Like, what's going on? Like, if you like, they had tried us out for 6 months and hadn't had success. And normally when someone doesn't have success and is trying again, like, they've tried us out for 1 month, and it's like, okay, well, you got to actually give it a shot. But this guy gave it a shot, so, like, what getting back here? And then there was, like, a bit of back and forth, but then at one point he was like, okay, well, like, just like what's like give me your pitch, like maybe that'll just like kind of like refresh my memory, maybe I'll change my mind, something to that extent. And at that moment it was interesting because I knew, okay, this guy wants to be sold. The reason he's on this call is because he wants to use this. He wants this to work. If he didn't want it to work, he wouldn't have booked the time. And if he's asking me to go through the pitch, he wants to be made feel comfortable making the decision he actually wants to make for himself. Went through the pitch. And then he sounded like no, it's good. There was still a little bit of hesitation. He was just kind of saying some sort of like hemming and hawing, but at which point I then asked, going like, okay, well, like, do you want to give us a shot again? Like, give us another try? There was a long pause, and then he went, yeah. like let it out over like 4 seconds kind of thing, and then he was going like, okay, let me explain where that massive thing came from, and then he went through the story of like having people that didn't really have a name that worked, but then it also worked, wasn't quick on the fly of overcoming rejection, doesn't know whether it wasn't the lead necessarily, but it was just more he didn't know what to do. Clearly he was underserved when he came onto the platform to begin with. And then so I was going like, okay, no, here are the things that we can change. I'll get you signed up with this guy, get you like over here. We can actually change that. Pretty much addressing each one of the emotional concerns he had. And then from there, I'm too meta because right now I'm thinking what I'm saying it isn't actually making any sense. From there, we then got him on the platform. It was interesting because at one point it was just in speaking to him over and over, and then I stayed silent and he went going like, okay, I'll bite. Which it wasn't, I didn't take any convincing on my end. It was more me speaking with confidence and not validating the hesitation, but validating the aspects of him wanting to move forward. Ooh. Actually, that makes sense. No, because of course you're going to be hesitant. You've tried this before. Things haven't worked out. But you're curious. So I made him feel that it was a good decision. So that was an interesting one. I was proud of that one, and then got him set up with a good guy. Like I did a good job onboarding him. Like I was proud of that one. The one that came after was kind of a surprise. Like it was through the inbound, like the website. Normally the ones through the website are much more high intent, obviously, because like they've seen the website. Like it's not just like a paid ad. Like it's not. They're a bit more warmed up. As well as this guy was background in sales and marketing, looking for something that had exclusive leads, had been trying other things, was frustrated that they weren't exclusive. The system that we're selling has exclusivity with them, other ones don't. So really it was about me not giving him a reason to not move forward. Because like I didn't ask for the business. I didn't ask him to sign up. He just went going, yeah, okay, I'll start with the green. And then I was like, all right, like it was a pretty much like I eliminated any sort of friction of him not talking himself into it, but like I went through the typical process because you can't just go right to pricing. But just from that, like, so that was happy. And then actually, so today marks a day that I actually had 2 1-call closes back to back. Ooh, actually, no, that's true. I closed 2 1-call closes today back to back. I had 2 1-call closes back to back. I had 2 back-to-back 1-call closes. I had 2 1-call closes back to back the most. I can actually say that. Achievement unlocked. So I did that. So that was cool. So today's been a complete day. No, because I'm just thinking going like, because then the courses that can be in the classroom can be both on goal setting, how to do the thing. They can also be on personality, but they also can be on like some sort of sales training, like something combining that. Because like, are there better sales trainers out there? Potentially. But really, see, it's interesting because I go like, the best sales training is not out there. It's you picking up it comes with repetition. Like the best sales training is 1,000 sales calls, not this guy's or this guy's or this guy's. All of them have useful information, but it's pretty straightforward. If you reduce it down, it's all the same thing. It's just whether or not you've done it enough times to make it repeatable, consistent, and ultimately an effective certified closing and selling machine. As well as, it's interesting, like the person of development and in sales actually kind of gets me razzed. Like I feel happy about that. And then the brand colors is another thing that I'm kind of working on, which I think it's going to be some combination of like dark purple or like maroon, burgundy. That's all one color, as well as like indigo, darker blue, and emerald green. That sort of color association. Let me pull up ChatGPT. I know I've mentioned this before, but it's associated with like elegance and sophistication. Great sort of thing. Spirituality and purity, not as much, but still in that kind of idea. There's creativity and imagination, like that. Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong one. No, that's purple and white combined. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Sorry. Luxury and elegance, because that still is purple. Nature and earthiness, growth kind of aspect of it. Sophistication and maturity, still loving the luxury and sophistication aspect of it. Mystery, Stability, and Trust, which is that dark blue. The Regal and Noble, I like that elevated authority kind of idea, as well as Timeless and Classic, which is like, it's specifically going, the combination of emerald green, dark blue, and burgundy is timeless and classic. It's not overly trendy, which means it can be used in a variety of contexts without looking dated. So it doesn't, you don't go like, oh, that color combination, that's a 70s color combination. That looks straight from the 90s. That looks straight from the whatever. It's like you can't label it to a particular time zone, which would be ideal. But yeah, we're making progress. We're moving forward all the way up. Clementine Club, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video as always, and remember to believe in yourself because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. I'll talk to you later.